Okay, I think I am live. All right, let me get back over here. Yep, and I got to mute myself already. Hold on one second. Okay, I started this and then I had to mute my mic really quick, so I'm back. And this was again unexpected to do this, so forgive me. Dave and Danny, how are you guys? Thanks for coming in. I did that little um, sauce tasting the other night, and I intended to come back out that night or the next night, and I just didn't get time. And actually, today was I just finished working. Just finished. Well, I finished working around 6, made dinner, and then 7 o'clock. So yeah, um, Mile Edie. Yep, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Ash, how are you? Thanks for the help with those pronunciations the other day. They made a big difference. Yeah, Dave, I follow you on Facebook, man. Seems like you've had some issues, but I hope things are going better for you. Lizzie, how are you? Dinner we had I had smoked chicken sandwiches. So I smoked chicken breasts. I slice them and then we put them on sandwiches. And I usually make like a spicy mayo. Tonight I made I took the new El Yucateco ghost pepper sauce and I did some sautéed onions with that in there, and it was good. It was really good. Um, spell checker got you there, or autocorrect got you there, Danny. They're all great, buddy. The only one that I would say that I mean, it's really good, but it's just I don't like coffee flavored rubs and I don't like coffee flavored sauces. So they're coffee one. But the thing is it tastes so good that I imagine I'm going to use it, and I know I'll be using it in their recipes, but I know I'll probably use it here too at some point. I've never really had a coffee flavored rub or sauce that I've liked. This is probably the one I like best if I had to pick one. But it starts habanero, and the habanero goes into coffee, so it's really good. But I'm just not a big fan of coffee flavored stuff. So anyway, that's that. Let me see here. I didn't even finish setting up this broadcast. I don't know if I suppose I could. Well, that's kind of gaudy sitting there, right? Um, Here, let me just whatever. I'll just leave that. Now I don't even know how to get it out of there. Let me go back to the chat. All right. Yeah, I don't know, Danny. You have to ask Siri on that one. Tips on leftover smoked pulled pork, dude. Quesadillas, real good. And I love my thin vinegar North Carolina style sauce. It's good on it the day of or the day after. But quesadillas or nachos, that's a really good way to use it. Do you go to the Windy City Barbecue Cookout when it's in town? Buddy, I'll be honest, I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of it. Yeah, nachos are good. Dave concurs. The nachos are very, very good. So I'm going to be here for about an hour. I'm on my laptop and I have about an hour's worth of battery. So whatever you guys want to talk about, just fire away. Leftover carnita tacos. Yeah, and I'm doing that tomorrow. So I have this. Well, I'm doing pulled pork tomorrow, but I have two pork shoulders, and I think one I'm going to go carnita style, and the other is just going to be barbecue. Um, Hold on one second. Sorry, I had to answer a question for my wife there. Carnitas are very good, but I have this gazebo. It's like the ones you might see at Costco or Sam's Club. Well, I have one in my garage that I need put together, so I have a couple buddies coming tomorrow to help with that, and we're going to put in like concrete footings so that it can be very sturdy. And I'm cooking for them. That was the one thing they asked me for. They're like, "Dude, you got to cook while we're there," and I'm like, "Okay." So no big deal. Danny, I don't know. I got to be honest. I know they'll be better than last year. They picked up some players. We had a pretty good draft, but um, I just still don't think Justin Fields is a very good quarterback. I mean, there's all this media talk about how good he is and how much better he is, and to me, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I didn't see anything from him at all other than him running that I thought was special. Rusty, how are you, buddy? I just missed your stream. I'm so sorry. You invited me, and I literally finished everything up here around 7 o'clock. I really didn't even get finished work until around 6, and then I made dinner, and it was like the whole day was gone. So I missed out on it. I apologize. I crushed that invite. I didn't mean to. But yeah, Danny, I mean, and there you go, Dave. Time's going to tell, right? I mean, we're going to see this year. If he doesn't do good this year, then I'm done with him. I'm done with him, and I feel like that's what's going to happen. Kent, what's up, brother? So Kent is suffering from bad quarterbacking now. From here on out, I think the Packers are going to be a little rough. He's going to have to deal with Jordan Love. So Kent, this is what, the first year in 30 or 30 plus years that you haven't had a Hall of Fame quarterback at the helm. Cheers, buddy. That's just water with lemon in it, by the way. So we'll see. Hey, Gary, how are you, man? Good to see you. Yeah, but we're going to see. We're going to see how he does. I really have no idea what to expect other than because there's a lot of talk in training camp about him being better, and he's got Chase Claypool who's fully healthy now, and is it DJ Moore we signed? We've got a couple of good offensive linemen. We had a good draft. I think our defense. I think the one thing I will say, I will predict, if I had to predict anything about the Bears, is that I think our defense is going to be better, particularly in the secondary. But as far as the defensive line goes, it'll be better than last year. I'm not sure how much better, but the offense is a big question mark. Like, I think without a good quarterback, which I don't think we really have, unfortunately, I think the rest of it is just it is what it is. No smoker, Gary. What happened? Was it delayed? That sucks, man. I remember we exchanged email about that. I thought it was coming. I wonder if was there some kind of a delay at customs or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So you guys have me for about 55 more minutes. So anything that you want to talk about, not that I'm very special, but if there's anything you want to ask or you want to discuss, the new El Yucateco sauces are outstanding. They're all good. The one that I did say that just doesn't it's not a preference of mine is the coffee flavor, even though it's so good. The habanero is the lead flavor, and then the coffee is kind of like after. So if you're somebody who likes it, I know a lot of people like coffee rubs, and it's really going to be good for you. You're going to love it. Hey, Lorraine, how are you? Good to see you. Ash, no, great player, a really good player, but he didn't want to play last year, and our family had been through so much with losing both my parents, and my son and I, if I'm being very honest with you, we both went through a little PTSD over that, and it lasted many months. And even our relationship was not the same, and it wasn't on purpose. It just mentally we had been beaten down, so bad. It was tough. So, he didn't want to play last year, but over the last year, him and I have gotten a lot better. And he's doing a lot better. So I'm hopeful that he will this year. As teenagers, though, like it's tough, especially when they've gone through a tough time. It's tough to make them do stuff because then uh, you kind of want it to come from inside of them. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything, and they're not going to give it their. They're not going to put their heart into it, you know. And so, I'd love to just say that I could make him do it because he should, but I'm hoping that that thought and that passion births itself inside of him and comes out, and I'll support him 1,000%. And I really hope he does. When I think about it, it almost makes me emotional because the kid is so good that he's he does he you know he needs to play. He needs to play. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that goes. Let's see. Gary says it was supposed to be at the distributor yesterday or today, but no word. Ugh, man, I'm sorry to hear that because I'm sure you were excited. Um, I've been through that many times, Gary, as you can imagine, having stuff delivered here, probably 30 of them over the last 5 years, something like that. And, um, it's unfortunate, but a lot of times it's not the manufacturer, it's the shipper. So, you just don't know where to lie the blame, and you really can't do anything about it except wait. But I've been in your shoes, so I sympathize with you. Yeah, Ash, sorry to hear that. What I will tell you, what I learned, okay, what I learned is that kids, as soon as they start to get into their teen years, they just want a little independence mentally, psychologically, and you know, I'm a I'm a Gen Xer, so I didn't have many options, and I think the generations before me were the same way, where it just was what it was. Like there was no other options on the table. What was in front of you was what was in front of you. And now I think kids go to school and they have their school's a lot different. Discipline's a lot different. Like expectations are a lot different. The schools now is like my son's high school that they don't even bother to tell you like if your kid's not turning homework or whatever. You got to ask them about it, and they'll just give the kid till whenever. They don't. It's only a couple teachers mark things late. The rest of them, like you could have a kid do nothing all year and just turn everything in at the last day, and they're fine with. They get full credit for it. Or a kid doesn't do good on a test and they let him retake it. That was never anything when I was a kid. It just wasn't that way. So my point is that the world is sort of changed. It's sort of changed kids, and as a result of that, it's difficult for parents that have a firm hand to rule that way because then we become the oddballs in their eyes, right? And we become the crazy ones. And it's one thing you don't want to do is lose their ear ever. So have patience. I think is have patience. Okay. If I can give you a visual analogy of what I did, you know, I was always a parent that pretend I'm holding my kids' shoulders, right? And I would never let them veer in any one direction that wasn't the one I wanted them to go in or what my expectations were. And so what I had to change in my mind was to give them the freedom to learn some things on their own, um, and be there to catch them more than push them in one direction and never let them veer anywhere. So now I'm more like when they start to kind of come off the road, I nudge them back on. I nudge them back on, and I just make suggestions about things instead of just saying. "Rah, rah, rah." You just can't really do it anymore with the kids. Unfortunately, it's just not like that. I wish it was because it'd be real easy. So I let my wife handle more of it now, and then when she, because they know that I'm very old school, and so the kids when they have something on their mind, they don't come to me with it. Now I've never hit my kids or beat my kids or anything like that. I've never done anything like that. Um, I'm if anything, I try to educate them so much that I become like elevator music. Everything is a learning or teaching opportunity. This is how my dad was with me. He'd call me at 11 at night and say, hey, in your life, if this thing ever happens, this is how you handle it. And it was something totally random, you know. Um, and so I'm that way. So what I've had to do is I've had to sort of take myself a step back, let my wife get in there and deal with the majority of it, and then I get involved when I need to. But I worry about it all the time. It's like, it's not that I don't care. I worry about it all the time. It consumes me from morning till night. The most important responsibility and job that God has ever given me is fatherhood, and it's also been the hardest one. So keep that in mind. Like, this is not going to be easy. I know parents that they have just great kids. Like, their kids are just great. They're great people. Their kids are great people. They hardly have any problems, if any at all, and it just works out wonderful. And then I know other people that I know for a fact are good people. They're great parents, and their kids just don't want to listen. You know, mine are mostly good kids. But there's obviously been growing pains, and with them becoming teenagers, as my daughter did. She's 22 now. Now her and I are very close again. But there was a time when I was very strict about her dating, very strict about a lot of stuff, and ultimately she ended up doing what she wanted to do anyway. And I spent all that time for whatever, I don't know, but I just let go, and I said, you know what, it's her life. She's doing good. She's living with her fiance, great kid, very hard worker. He loves her to death. He'll do anything for her. And that was my first experience as a dad of, like, one of my kids wanting to bring someone, home. I think my daughter was 17. Um, and I mean, let's just be honest. She could have brought Jesus Christ into my house personally, and I would have wanted to kick his ass. I would have wanted to put him in a headlock and beat him unmercifully, because that's just who I was as a dad. Stay away from my daughter. And that was the wrong approach. It was the wrong approach, because I ended up pushing her away for a while, and I didn't want that. And when they get to a certain age, you can't rule with an iron fist anymore, because kids are going to do what they're going to do. So uh, this is the thing that you know, I'm just trying to help you out. Some parents, they uh, they'll start having trouble with their kids early on. It could be 10, 11, 12. Sometimes it's not till they're 17, 18, whatever. But just remember to always make sure your kids know you're there for them, and try to just keep them on the road. Don't force them unmercifully, unless they're that kind of kid who needs and wants that. That's different. But most are not like that. And the schools don't make it now to where you can do that. Yeah, Russ, right? Like, after that time goes by, everybody becomes friends again, and you don't have to deal with that crap. Like, that they've got enough life experience to make their own decisions. And I think that's the biggest thing that we fear, right? Is that they're going to make a tough choice, and they're going to have to go through grief or pain or suffering, and that's the hardest thing for us to see. So, yeah, and I don't want to speed up the clock. Like, I'm totally good with just taking this day by day. Everything's going really well. You know, is it perfect? Is it what I want? No, it isn't. But it may never be. And there's only so much that I can do. And you just have to do your best. That's all you can do. Anyway, I went off on a tangent there. I can talk about that forever, because it's the one thing that's just, it's constantly consuming me. It's on my mind all the time. You can ask any of my buddies, you know, the 5 or 10 people that I talk to frequently. Russ is one, Justin, Greg, Ricer, and they'll all tell you that it's my main purpose for living. It's all I think about. It's all I talk about. So, um, but yeah. Anyway, oh, teach him to cook. Yeah, he's actually so he's actually, on his own. He's starting to just do things like, you know, customize his ramen noodles and just put his own little spin on stuff. And that's how I started. So, and I offer all the time. I'm like, hey, do you want to learn how to prep chicken, or do you want to trim a pork butt or start the cooker? And so far, I haven't really been able to get him to take a lot of interest. I probably should have started that a lot younger, and I didn't. I didn't. But he is. That's in him. Believe me, that's in him. He's gonna become very foodie like I am. I'm sure. It is a great start. It's a great start. It's a start of some kind. Oh, Russ, you did a good job as a dad. From what I could tell you, your sons are good men, like you, really like you. I think you set an example, you know, and that's primarily your best teaching is the example you set, not always the words that you speak. Because kids are smart enough they're going to watch your actions and not your words. Your words mean something, but your actions mean a lot more. So, uh, and believe me, if you contradict yourself, they're going to let you know about it. So you have to be aware of that. Yeah, good, smart, and wise words, Russ. You're 1,000% right. You're 1,000% right. Russ, how many people did you have on your stream at the max tonight that I missed? I swear when I used to do these, I'd have 50, 60 people normally, and sometimes it would spike to over 100. And that was when I had half the subscribers. And now I'm lucky to get 20 to 30. Right now I only have like 13, I believe. I just don't know. I don't know what the YouTube algorithm is up to, but it just forgets to let people know what I'm doing. 46. See, and you should have, like, I swear I remember streams where you had 200 or 300 at a time. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand. What is my screen doing here? I hope I didn't just lose everybody. All right, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. My computer is freaking out. Um, can anybody still hear me? Okay, you can hear me. So now let me go ahead and see if I can get this camera to work again. All right. And so far, not so good. It's like my computer installed an update, and when it did that, it dropped the camera. All right, let me see. Let me try this. There we go. Whoops. All right, there we go. I think I'm back. Am I back? Does everybody see me? I see me. Yeah, no, I didn't see myself down in the lower spot there, but then now I got the camera back on. Okay, guys, you guys, okay, good, you guys see me. That's what I meant to say. Good, you guys see me. Okay, good, good, good. Boy, that was weird and funky. All right. So anyway, I forgot even what I was talking about. But yeah, Russ, how about it, man? Like, we used to get so many more people on these streams. It's really amazing. I don't know what's happened. And the same thing with video views. Like, everything is so low. It's crazy. Are your views getting any better? Like, on average? I know I've had a few that have popped through the average, and most of them are just they're like redheaded stepchildren. see if I have. Sorry, I was trying to do something here, and I'm going to try real quick to make sure that I have this all set correctly. Okay. I feel like my chat froze. I can't move it. Computer problems. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, it's it's weird too. Like usually the holidays, I'll get a spike in views, like turkey videos and that. But last year, I didn't get much of that. It was a lot less than normal. Normal, it's like really, really crazy views that that especially that last 2 weeks of November and then the last 2 weeks of December. But I didn't get it. I didn't get it much of it. I got a little bit, but not much. It was just it was an off year. It was really an off year. And yeah, Gary, that's true too. There's all kinds of stuff going on, end of year stuff. There's fairs. We have our local fair going on this week, and I haven't even gone. We went on a vacation. We were just down in Dallas. I was spent some time with Justin down there. God, that was so much fun. Um, this is all. Yeah, I get it, man. Believe me. And you know what? I started memberships maybe about a year ago, and I have less than 10 members. Like people just don't join. I could really use that for the difference in views, like you said, because it's been tough. There's been a few headwinds. Normally, every spring, I get contracted work, and I'll accept the ones that I want to do that I think are good for the channel or interesting or something like that. Because you know how it is. I get 5 or 6 of those a day, and a lot of them are just junk. And I'm not going to turn on my cameras to like review, something that just isn't even in the same genre as somebody. I forget. There was a really dumb one today. Anyway, I'm going off subject. Point is that like that sponsored work is down. The views are down. The growth is down, and it's with all of our channels. There's only a few that have sustained. Most of us are beaten down and just we're just not getting the attention, which is it's unfortunate because I know I work hard at this stuff. I know I work really hard at it, but I do need to get my memberships up. I just don't know how to tell people about it, in a way where it's not going to sound like I'm just trying to take money. And I don't know, like I do little private blurbs for members only sometimes, or I'll do like a little message or a video message or a live. But it's been like I don't know what sort of a perk to even give. I guess I could, because there's like 5 or 10 members. So to do a live for 5 or 10 members is like I'm gonna go on and like they'll probably all be at work. You know what I mean? So now I'm just kind of like recording a pre-recorded live, which is I'm not even sure it's something that they want. So that's what goes through my mind, when I think about doing it. So you just started accepting members. Your channel is 5 times mine size, probably, or 4 or 5 times. So were you able to garner up some good support with memberships right off the bat to start? Man, it's warm out here. That water is so good. I know it takes a minute to type, Russ. Well, it's not bad. 4's not bad, you know. Um, and I mean, even mine's like $1.99 a month or something. Uh, but I just think it's, people they're like, well, I get free content, and they do, and it makes sense. I don't. I think I need to think of a unique, and yeah, Gary, you're right. See, that's the other problem I have, right? That's the other problem I have, and it's my fault. This is not. I'm not blaming anything but me on this, but you're 100% right, and it comes down to my work schedule being so unpredictable that it's hard for me. Like I tried to schedule the first couple of like members only lives, and I missed them. I missed them entirely because I ended up working late. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm promising people I'm going to do something and I'm not doing it, and or I'm not there, which is worse because now they're waiting and I'm not there. If there's say two or three that are, and it's just been a challenge for me because both of my sources of income are self-employed based, so it's a difficult situation sometimes because my plans are okay. I'm going to finish my work day at 5 o'clock, have dinner, and then go live at 6. And like today, that was a plan. Probably, actually, I was hoping to be done by 4 today, and I didn't get done work until 6 o'clock. Two of my jobs, my other job is I do IT support, and so I had two remote jobs today. Out of all that I did, there was two that went way over. They were way more work than what I had anticipated, and I was on the phone with somebody who really didn't know what they were doing, and that made it longer than it needed to be. So it's just very unpredictable, and that's been a challenge. And I need to find a way to just be able to cut that off, but it's hard because we need the income. So it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge, and I feel bad for everybody that's been there for me when I've been wanting to be there, and like I said, I missed because I ended up on the phone, couldn't get off, doing a remote job or something like that, and I felt terrible about it. You know. Let's see. I think that's a good move, Russ, and I honestly think that that's what I am going to do. I think it's better because I can be spontaneous that way, right? Like if I to maybe a little behind the scenes, like here's what I'm making today, or I'm filming and this is what's going on, stuff like that. I think that's probably a good perk, and it's something that I can do without uh, having to move anything aside because I'm already doing it. Just pull out my phone and pop a vertical video up, and you know, uh, that's probably the best way to do it. And some of the funniest stuff that happens is during that time, right, when you're trying to film and things aren't cooperating. And I think that maybe that would be interesting. So I like that. I like that. Now I just have to be aware enough to do it. Um, because sometimes when I'm filming, it's so stressful. I'm just trying to figure out how to make the video right or whatever, so I do have to have a bit of a awareness with that too. But I like that. I like that a lot. That's something that I'm going to adopt. I kind of started that a little bit lately. I think I did a few little things, but I need to do more. That's cool, Ash. Everybody appreciates the support. Believe me. I mean, the same with me. It means so much to me to have whatever. I got 5, 6 members or 8 members. I don't know. Those people are really important to me, because they're willing to give more than the average person to support me, which you know means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. Yeah, Gary, that's the issue. I did try evenings, the first couple times, and my schedule just went way over. I would have to go way later in the day, I guess. Hey, Russ, yeah, take care, brother. Good to see you. I'm sure I'll see you in the group text over the weekend. And yeah, God bless you, man. Take care. Have a great night and a great weekend. See, and Gary, I don't even mow my lawn anymore because my mower broke. And I guess this is a half acre, something like that. And it would take me 3 hours to mow my lawn. after I mow and trim, and then, use the blower to clean off the mower, put that away. And so I have a friend of mine who's started the business doing that, and I just have him do it, and I pay him. I pay him. So he charges me a very fair price, and then I save time. 2 acres is a lot. 2 acres is a lot, man. I don't think that'd be like an 8 hour day for me. You need something, honey?
Oh, just the Apple ID password. That didn't you change that?
I wrote it down for him.
Is that the one with exclamation mark?
Probably.
Yeah, he put it.
IT support for the in-laws. Damon, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Is it hot there where you're at, Damon? We had pretty warm weather here today. It was humid. It's finally starting to cool off. It was kind of warm when I started this stream, which was, I don't know. Let me see, how long have I been on here? I don't even know. 35 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty warm. Now it's cooled off. Sun's gone down. You probably hear the cicadas in the trees. Good. Good. I'm glad it's nice out. I hope you're feeling better. Not to go into detail, but I remember what we talked about in the chat. So I hope things are settling better for you. You know, I hope the words that I spoke made sense. I believe in that 1,000%. There's been too many things in my life that have happened uh, that I can't explain for that to be wrong. So take that for what it's worth. Mid 80s, and we're at let's see, I'm at 78 right now, but sun's down and humidity's still there, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. All right, everybody, what else do we have here? Let's chat. I'm on for another maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, unless otherwise I don't mind. I'll hang out for a little bit. I intended to come back the other day after I did that sauce tasting video. I just wanted to do that on a live because it was so much easier. When I do a regular video and I set up the cameras, it's like an hour and a half of setup, an hour of teardown, and then the editing is complex. With live, there's no editing. I took right now I'm on my laptop, but for that video I had my iPhone with a Rode mic on it and a little tripod, and it was like boom, piece of cake. I filmed it. I didn't worry about words. I didn't worry about cuts, and it worked out well. So yeah, Damon, I've got a lot of stuff on deck. Um, it, there. El Yucateco likes mostly fast, easy recipes that people can reproduce. So just because you guys are here, I'll tell you my next 3 videos are going to be a Mexican tomato salad. They're like an appetizer, for like a barbecue. And I make that all the time, but I have a different take on the flavors, so they're changing it up a bit, and it's phenomenal. Um, and I'm going to be using one of their sauces. I believe I'm going to use the Mataschera Red for that because there's a red and a black. The black's a bit smoky, and I don't want to add a smokiness to that because that's sort of like that's not a fresh appetizer like gardeny type thing. That's more like a main course kind of flavor. So I'm going with the red because the red is not smoky. And then I'm going to be doing some chicken kebabs, grilled chicken kebabs, which I was going to marinate, but I think I'm going to make it even more simple. I'm going to make a glaze out of the grilled pineapple sauce. And oh man, I can't wait for that video just for the taste test. Um, and then I'm doing a street pickle video that is simple, but oh my God, are they good? So I can't wait to drop that one too. Let's see. No, Damon, let me think. I still have to do my Apex review. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't done it yet. And I mean, look, it's a hobby and it's fulfilling for me and all that stuff, but it's also a business. And, Camp Chef doesn't pay anything for the videos. So I can't put that in front of other stuff unless there's good reason to. And now that just got away from me. Like I did the Apex video, not the Apex, I did the Woodwind Pro video. I've got two grills here that I need to review that I haven't, that have been here for months. And one of them is the Apex. The other one is an Oklahoma Joe. But the Oklahoma Joe is just not a great cooker. So my intention is and I have all the B-roll done. I can put the video together. And maybe it's just the one I have. Might just be the one I have. I don't know. But I'm going to contact them and just let them know that it's not my favorite cooker. And I'm going to tell people that. And if they want me to do the video, I will. But I'm open to the idea that it may just not be. It may be just mine. It's possible. But I just don't care for it very much. And then I'll have to donate that to somebody probably and get it out of here because it's taking up space. So whatever they decide to do. Grilled mahi tacos. That sounds really good, Ash. Yeah, really, really good. And it's going to go good on chicken too. It's going to go good on those chicken kebabs. Yeah, Damon, I'm not like, I don't know why, but I have had so many companies send me coffee rubs and coffee based like barbecue sauces. And I know, and I love coffee. I love coffee. I have coffee every morning with my wife and I love it, so it's not that I hate coffee. I just like coffee and food. It's for me, my preference. Everybody, this is it's subjective, I guess you would say, right? It's to each his own. I just don't prefer it. And so, but the thing is that sauce is so good because when you taste it, what you get first is the habanero and this really nice savoriness, and then it turns into a coffee flavor. Which is, if you love coffee, you're gonna love that sauce. And I like it a lot, but it is my least favorite out of the ones that I have. All the 6 new ones. And that's not to knock it. It's just that I'm not one that likes the coffee flavor. I don't like the coffee flavored rubs. I've never had one that I liked. Any of the sauces, I've just never really used them. I think the sauces are better than the rubs, but I've just never really used them because I'm like, there's another sauce I have that I think would be better. Yeah, I know, Gary. It's weird, and I've had a few of them. Yeah, and I that's a video that I'm definitely going to do. The chiltepin. Did I say that right, Ash? Chiltepin. Chiltepin. I don't even know. I probably sound really stupid to you right now. That's a great one. I think that and the red Madagascar are my two favorites, and the ghost pepper is definitely up there. The ghost pepper could easily be number one, no question. It's just that it's like I really love that red. I love that the red, and I love the chiltepin. It's good. It's very, very good. Those are probably the two that stand out for me. And the ghost pepper sauce is uh and I know I said this on the video and you were there, but it starts with the habanero and it converts into this ghost pepper heat, and the ghost pepper heat just ramps up and it just carries that burn, so it's there for a while. It's not where you can't eat it. And the key is with all the El Yucateco sauces, even with their triple X extra hot, there is an equal amount of flavor to balance the heat. So it's not like one of these sauces. If you ever go to one of these like hot sauce stores and malls and stuff, and they have 5,000 different ones, and a lot of them they're just scorching hot and there's no flavor at all. Like you just don't taste anything. It's all heat. I hate that. I love hot stuff and I have a very high tolerance for it, but I want to taste it too. Like I want to I want to be able to use that sauce as an ingredient too. And that's what El Yucateco stuff's great at is you can take any of their sauces and you can make a great marinade as with it as an ingredient, or a great finishing sauce, or a mayonnaise or something like that. And a lot of other hot sauces, there's many that do, but most of them don't. They're just not good that way. And yeah, so I looked up the Madascara, and that's stands for shellfish, right? That's what the word means. And it's for seafood, but it's so good. I could see it. I could see you just using it on anything. Honestly, it's very very flavorful, very punchy, but not bad. It's just really good. um, Bearded Butcher's Black Coffee. Never had that. Um, and yeah, I guess I am caught up on here. Yeah, and I have to say, going back to that though, I really love it. Like it's great sauce. I mean, I really really enjoy it. Um, it's maybe it is for seafood. It's made with that in mind. But you could, if you had, you maybe haven't had it yet, but you could put it on anything. You could put it on anything. Somebody's texting me. Huh. One of my buddies is having some Colonel E.H. Taylor bourbon, and he's texting me here. I got to get him back. That's good stuff, buddy. Cheers to you. I hope to see you soon. Blessings to you and everyone. We're doing good. Things are getting better all the time. Went through a tough stretch, but God lifted us up. Okay. Oh, it's going to be great on chicken. I mean, I can't wait to do some recipes with this. I've already been putting it on. Tonight I did. So we did. I take so I smoke chicken breast sandwiches, but what I do is I just trim the chicken. I leave the breast whole. I season them and I let them brine for a little while in the fridge, uncovered, just on a rack on a tray. Not forever, but for a little bit. And then I'll set up tonight. I just used the kettle with the slow and sear. I ran them about 275, 300. Put them on the indirect side. I put a little chunk of hickory in there with Kingsford Blue, and I let them go until they hit about 155. Pop them over the searing side real quick to bust them past 155. And when they're about 158, I wrap them in foil and I let them sit because they'll finish cooking. They're already done at 158, contrary to popular belief. A lot of people say 165, but 158, they're done and they're a lot juicier. There's a huge difference between 158 and 165. So if you pull your chicken off at 165, it's going to be 5 or 7 degrees higher by the time you eat it. But if you pull it at 158, put it in a little foil, it'll stay juicy and moist, and it'll finish up another 5 degrees or so, in the foil, and it's resting at the same time. So now I just slice that into slices. Um, we put it on like buns with cheese, and then I made some sautéed onions and peppers tonight. I just did a little olive oil, um, onion, green pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, and I put some ghost pepper sauce in there, and I let all that saute, and that really came out like as it cooked. It colored the onions, and it just flavored them so good. So we piled those on top of the sandwiches, and then I made a garlic black pepper mayo. So good. It was so good. It was pretty healthy. Damon, I do love the LSG, man. I really do. I it's my favorite pellet cooker. I mean, it is what it is. I'm using it tomorrow. I've got some guys coming to help me with a project tomorrow, and they asked me to cook for them. And that one's going to be in service tomorrow. My pork butts are brining right now, and some seasoning, just a dry brine. And yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it because I can trust it 1,000%, and it's built like a tank. Um, I haven't had one malfunction. I haven't had one problem. It was right from the get go. It was very easy. Everything that you normally have to do to set up a pellet cooker, especially something on Wi Fi or whatever, this did it like just as smoother than anything I've ever used. There was no crazy updates and reboots and all this stuff. It was just like I turned it on and I paired it with Wi-Fi, which went like that, and it was a done deal. I didn't have to do anything, you know. The range seems good. The signal's not bouncy, and and I know you've probably looked at them before, but the short distance that the auger is, driving pellets and wood chips, it and the because it's an open auger and because it's a short run, I could never see that thing being jammed. I'm sure it's probably happened, and I don't know if it would be the cooker's fault or user error. I don't know, but um, let's just say it would be a lot less likely in this. And yeah, I do use chips with basically every cook now, but you don't really have to. You get plenty of flavor without them. But the chips elevate it a bit. They do. It does. You do notice a difference. And I don't even use the 50-50 blend. I will probably do like a 20 or 30% blend. It's probably closer to 20, honestly. Just to get a little bit of that extra wood flavor in there. And I mean, I've just had just amazing food come off of it. I really have. And the Camp Chefs do great too. I'm not knocking Camp Chef. I'm not knocking. I mean, really, God, the only brand pellet cookers that I've had here now in the last 3 years would be Camp Chef, Lone Star, and the Oklahoma Joe. And there's been multiple Camp Chefs. Um, the Oklahoma Joe I do not like. I didn't even do the video yet, and I don't know if I'm going to because I don't like to. I don't like to knock cookers. I don't like to come out and be like, well, blah blah, it's a piece of crap, whatever. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that'll do that, and I don't think it's a piece of crap. I think it's built good. I just think that functionally, they need to redesign and re-engineer how it works. You know, maybe it's software, maybe it's design, mechanics, but the shell of the cooker is real nice. I think that's probably in the range of the price point they want for it. But the mechanics and the electronics, there's just there's work that has to be done there. And yeah, the smoke fire, that's a video that I had so much. Oh God, I was so excited to do that. I was so excited to do that video, and I was going to scrap it when I got frustrated. When I started having grease fires, I was going to scrap the video. And Justin, Baby Back Maniac, he had gotten one at the same time. In fact, his and my videos were two of the first videos that came out. And I called him and I'm like, dude, I'm beyond frustrated right now with what's happening. And he was having the same issues with his at the same time. And he's like, you know what? There's going to be a lot of people looking at these. And I forget what he told me. He said it's really an opportunity to make people aware, and this whole thing that's happened to you from start to finish, like there's a story there that people need to hear, and it's up to you. You do what you want. And so he's like, just push through and see what happens. Push through, pretend like you're going to finish the video. And at the end of it, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. And I did. I pushed through. And I thought about it for a while because I knew I was sticking my neck out there because there's a lot of Weber fanboys. And I knew I was going to get, the proverbial beatdown online because of guys that spent their money on it. And even though they might have grease fires at home, they'll never tell anyone because they spent their money on it. So it's the greatest thing that God ever invented was the smoke fire. You know what I mean? Fanboys. And I decided to put it out because I'm like, I can't see, like, if I save one person from burning down their deck or their porch or somebody getting hurt, then it's been worth it, and it turned out to be like one of my greatest videos. It's top 10. It's probably, I don't even know. Hundreds of thousands of views. And I felt good about it. I took a lot of crap for it, as you can imagine. If you go back into that video and you read the comments, it's people were not nice, and that was probably around the time when I really got hardened for dumb comments and dumb people, because there was so much of that coming in that I just sort of, it just kind of became sort of ad nauseum. And Now I don't even really look at those the same anymore. I used to take all that stuff personally, but now I just don't care because I know there's so many of them out there. Let me see here. Yeah, well, the Gen 2 is, dude, all the Gen 2 is a software update and some bullcrap sheet metal mod that they put on the, in the pellet hopper to make the pellets slide down because they kept tunneling and not feeding. And I don't know other little stuff, but it was all like mods to make what they said was perfect better than what it was, which was far from perfect to begin with. And there's no way that they tested that thing. They said, "Oh, we tested it thousands of times. We can't produce a grease fire." And I did it in 10 minutes. I did it in 10 minutes, and so did Justin, and so did a bunch of other guys. You know, so that was a bunch of crap. I think they just thought that their name was going to carry them through that whole thing. Either that or nobody actually tested it. Nobody did. Or whatever they tested and then whatever they shipped out was totally different, which I doubt because you're still seeing the same one out there now, right? With the stupid mods. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry, it was junk. It was junk. It still is junk in my opinion. I know there's other people that use them now and say they're good, and perhaps they're having luck with them. Good for them. And I still love my Weber kettle, and I still love my Weber Genesis gas grill. But I'm not proud of Weber for trying to push that on people. And then the way they came out with their emergency marketing after, people were aware of what was going on, and they were trying to kind of pass it off as just not dangerous and whatever. That bothered me, because I don't know. Nobody's really going to know if anyone's gotten hurt from that. And they knew better. They knew better. I mean, I had video proof. So did so many people. We had video proof that they're death traps. They're dangerous. But they just kept playing their game and sticking to their marketing and trying to. They literally said on me that I don't know what I'm doing, and Justin doesn't know what he's doing. And hey, we're not engineers. All I did was turn it on and use it like anybody else, and I had a grease fire in no time. And if I would have kept doing the same thing, I'd have kept having grease fires because, and this is old news now, right? But the grease there's these channels down below, and the grease is supposed to run through those channels and then go down into the grease catch. But what happens is that cooker burns in a way where the ash is just all over the cook chamber, and the ash mixes with the grease and turns it into like cement to where it won't move and it won't flow anymore. And then one little spark from that pellet pot or fire pot, boom, fire. So very simple, not hard to figure out. And like I said, I had video evidence of it. Okay, what else? What else? I'm talking about old news here, but I had to get that out. The Smoky Mountain's a great cooker, Ash, and the Genesis propane, I love it. I still have mine. It's 6 years old. I just replaced the burners and the flavorizer bars, and I think I'll have that thing for 20 years. Honestly, I love it. Sometimes I don't want to mess with coals. I don't want to wait for cookers, to start pellets and all that, and I just go out there, and I'm cooking in no time. So I haven't used it much this summer. I've really been on charcoal this summer. Even for just like weeknights, I had done so much pellet grill cooking that I kind of wanted that Kingsford Blue flavor again, which I love. It's hard to replace that. I even like that better than high dollar charcoal. Like, I mean, Fogo is great. Jealous Devil is great. B&B Hickory's good. It's it's a cheap solution to the others. Lump, but man, Kingsford Blue is just like it reminds me of my childhood. So I really love it. I really love it, and I've been kind of on a kick with that this summer. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to talk about? I can stay a little longer if you want. I'm at an hour, but Looks like the audience is dwindling. I'm down to like 7 viewers right now. I don't think YouTube tells people that I'm live. I used to have 50, 60, 70 people on these, and anymore it's hard to get 20 or 30. Everybody going to sleep on me. All right, well then I guess I'm going to tie it up and be done. But oh, here we got something from Damon. Damon, I've driven it a dozen times this summer, and everything's been pretty good on it. Everything's been pretty good. A lot of fun. Put in the stereo system. Everything's been running good. And then about 3 weeks ago, or right before we went on vacation, I felt something weird in the rear end, and then the car was sort of swaying a little bit. And it turns out that one of my rear upper control arm bushings is busted. So I just ordered $500 control arms, and they got here Thursday. And I got a buddy of mine coming out in the next week or two to help me put them on. So that's what's going on. But other than that, it's been great. And then the guy who works on the car for me primarily, like my Fox body expert, um, he's in Woodstock, which is about an hour from me roughly, and he's moving to northern Michigan, which really sucks because when I want somebody to do stuff that I can't do, it's going to have to be taken a long distance and towed. Because the guys that are local, I don't know if I trust anybody else. And then they're all backlogged too by months and months. I mean, Nate kind of is too. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. That's the life you have when you have a 30-year-old hobby car. There's always something broken. And then you go to fix that, and it's like, well, while I'm in here, there's that and that, and a $200 project turns into $2,500. I've had that happen multitudes of times already. So it's a very expensive thing, and it provides me a lot of fulfillment and joy. But it's been expensive. There's been times I've been tempted to like sell it, and I'm like, oh, I know I'll regret it because it took me so long to find one in that good a shape. But I could easily sell it and get a, good money. I mean, they're going for good money right now. So I could sell it and I could pick up like a 12 or 13 or 14 GT 500, and I'd be able to drive it anywhere, and I'd probably have minimal issues. But it's not a Fox body. So that's the problem. Um, yeah, Jealous Devil's good, Ash. It really is. And Fogo is even better. If you really want to, if you haven't tried Fogo, try Fogo. Yeah, I'm not. I don't see myself selling it, Ash. When I get frustrated, I think like that. Like I'm like, "Oh, I should just sell this thing, and get something that I don't have. Like I could just drive and not worry about. But you know, it's just it's like a part of me now, and I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. I get frustrated, and I say I will, but I won't. I don't ever see myself doing that. That car will go to my son one day, you know, and I'm sure he's chomping at the bit for that. All right, everybody. I'm really down to like almost no people now. So I think everybody's getting tired and leaving me. So I think I'm gonna turn things off. But I you're right, Damon. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that car could fetch six figures one day, honestly. Probably not while I'm alive, but someday it'll maybe be a good down payment for one of my kids on their house or something. Who knows? I just want to enjoy it as much as I can while I can. And I think this summer was good. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not overly frustrated with it. I've just come to this normalcy of things are going to break every year and they're going to have to be fixed. Gary, take care. Have a great weekend. God bless you. God bless you, Damon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure I'll see you in the Camp Chef group chat. Um, Sounds good, Gary. You have a safe and blessed vacation, and I hope your cooker shows up safe and sound, and I hope you enjoy the heck out of that. Let me know. Send me an email, And for everybody else, thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope you all have a blessed weekend. God bless you, and thank you for everything. I'm going to click off now. Good night.